as of right now, the Big 12 has 4 legitimate contenders, and 2 of them face off this Saturday as number 12 Utah takes on number 14 Oklahoma State in Stillwater. Will Utah make a statement in their first year in the Big 12, not just their first year, but their first Big 12 conference game, or will the Cowboys defend home field and maybe prove that they're the team to beat in the conference? That's what we're here to break down today. So welcome back to the Gridiron Expert. We're so glad you could join us today. As always, please continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos. Of course, check out everything down in the description below. That includes our website, thegridironexpert.com. Some of the best college football and NFL spread picks in the entire country, beating out over 80% of the national handicappers, not just this year, but each of the last 6 years. So if you want to win big, this is the place for you. We want you to sign up, become a member of our GE Nation, start winning big with us today, because there's no other deal like this in the entire country, and certainly not one that's going to produce the results like we have each of the last 6 years. So go check it out. The link for that down in the description below. So let's dive into this game. It's an intriguing game. Top 15 matchup in the Big 12, a conference that really seems wide open right now. I would say it's these 2 teams, Kansas State and Iowa State, that appear to be the biggest contenders in the conference. And so this is huge when it comes to the Big 12 title race, and ultimately huge when it comes to the playoff race, because, of course, whoever wins the Big 12 championship will go to the college football playoff. You take a look at the offenses for both these teams. We'll start with the road team in Utah. For me, it's Cam Rising or bust, right? We saw that last year. We saw that a little bit last week in their win over Utah State. If Cam Rising is good to go, this Utah team is one of the best in the country. If he cannot play, they struggle. They're not nearly as good or as potent or as dangerous or as competitive without him. And that's the case for most teams when their starting quarterback goes down. But Cam Rising did miss last week. Isaac Wilson had a solid debut, 239 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception in their 17-point win over the Aggies. But they need Cam Rising to win this game. Isaac Wilson's not going to lead Utah to a road victory in Stillwater in a game of this magnitude. Rising is, of course, expected to play. As of this video, he is expected to play. At least that's what the trends are saying. So if he does, they're going to be looking good on offense. He's thrown for 346 yards, 7 touchdowns on the year so far. 4 players for Utah have at least 100 reception yards, including their star tight end and Brant Kuithe. The run game has been very potent this year. Micah Bernard, already 274 yards. Mike Mitchell has rushed for over 100 yards. And the offensive line, strong as always. If you go look at previous Kyle Whittingham-led teams, Utah always has 2 things going for them, and that is a great battle at the line of scrimmage. They can win up front on the offensive line. They can win up front on the defensive line. That's always been something that's been good for them, and that's once again the case this year. You take a look at Oklahoma State, though. It's interesting, right? Last year for the Cowboys, it was the Ollie Gordon show. Was the nation's leading rusher, was a Heisman contender. Everybody thought that would be the case again this year, and it hasn't been. Ollie Gordon hasn't done anything this year. He's been held to under 50 rushing yards in each of the last 2 games. So really, it's transitioned from the Ollie Gordon show in 2023 to the Alan Bowman show in 2024. The star quarterback, who feels like he's playing his 15th year of college football, has already thrown for nearly 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns, and just 2 interceptions. He's spreading the ball out extremely well. 4 players with at least 100 reception yards, led by Dazon Stribling, 295 yards, and Rashad Owens, who has nearly 200 yards. This is an Oklahoma State team that feels like they're leaning more on the quarterback shoulders, on the shoulders of their quarterback, than Ollie Gordon, who really kind of took the heavy workload last year. I think Bowman has obviously improved. He's cut down on his turnovers, has played relatively turnover-free ball. Again, only 2 interceptions so far this year. The offensive line's doing a phenomenal job. Hasn't allowed a single sack through 3 games this season, so I'm not sure that's the reason why Ollie Gordon's struggling. It's not that the offensive line isn't doing their job of creating opportunities. I'm really not sure what the issue is. But regardless, the passing game has been extremely potent. Eventually, Ollie Gordon is going to break through and have a monster game and start looking like the player we thought he'd be this year. But the question is, will that come against this Utah defense? The answer is probably not. And we're going to talk about Utah's defense in 1 second. But first, a quick word from our sponsor. We've got a new sponsor for the show this season, Chris Gates Fitness and his online fitness training camp. Training Camp is a monthly fitness program designed specifically for football fans, and it's like nothing I've ever seen before. With hundreds of different workouts and exclusive content such as the calorie calculator and, my personal favorite, the low-calorie, high-protein tailgating cookbook, Training Camp is a must for any football fan looking to get or stay in shape. With Chris as your coach, you'll get top-notch guidance. He's been coaching people online since 2018, and Like all of you watching, he's a die-hard football fan. His clients consistently get results by implementing a flexible approach to diet and exercise. So if you're interested in getting brand new workout programs every month, fitness challenges every month to push you to develop healthy habits, challenges within the training camp community like weekly football pick'ems, access to live Q&As where you can get direct, personalized support from Chris with your health and fitness, and the support of a community of people there to encourage you every step of the way, you need to visit chrisgatesfitness.com/Gridiron Expert, the link down in the description below. Learn more, sign up today, and use our promo code GRIDIRON to get your first month for just $10. You definitely need to hurry over to Chris Gates Fitness. The link down in the description below. They're doing their September Step Challenge. You can win a free treadmill and weekly college football pick'em. So do not miss out. Every week, new games, new picks, and new prizes for you to win. So go check it out. The link for that down in the description below. We mentioned Utah and their defense, and more specifically, we said, can Ollie Gordon exploit Utah in this defense? And the answer is probably not. The Utes are allowing 109 rushing yards per game so far this year, which is a little bit more than average, a little bit more than what they typically do. Allowed 79 a few weeks ago. Kind of got torched a little bit last week against Utah State despite winning by 17 points. This is a game where I expect Kyle Whittingham to once again lean on the strength of his defensive line, sell out on the run, and force the Cowboys to pass, which they might want to do. Alan Bowman's been playing great ball, but Utah's secondary has been phenomenal. They're only giving up 143.7 passing yards per game so far this year. They've already forced 3 interceptions, and that defensive line already has 10 sacks this season. So load up the box, force Ollie Gordon to do absolutely nothing, force Alan Bowman to try to win the game through the air against this very strong and underrated secondary, and the Utes are going to have an excellent chance to go out and win this game. You take out Oklahoma State's defense. That was their kryptonite last year, right? Yeah, they were the Big 12 runner-up. They won 10 games. The offense was great, but it was the defense, especially in the secondary, that held them back. And they still need work. The Cowboys are allowing 462.7 yards per game, including over 300 passing yards per game. Also includes over 157 rushing yards per game, but it's, to me, the secondary that still has the most concern. A couple weeks ago, they allowed 648 yards of offense to Arkansas, including over 400 passing yards. Oklahoma State very fortunate to win that game despite being outgained by nearly 300 yards. And now you look at Oklahoma State, they're playing at home great against one of the best quarterbacks, not just in the Big 12, but in the country, assuming Cam Rising, of course, is ready to go. Will they be able to shut him down? Will the secondary be able to slow him down? Will they be able to contain this balanced attack of Utah? Can they find a way to force turnovers against Utah? That's $1 million question. You've got to be able to force the Utes into mistake. They've forced 5 so far this year, the Cowboys have, but 3 of them were gift wrapped to them from Arkansas in that Week 2 victory. So I don't know how much you want to make of that. The question is, for Oklahoma State, can you make Utah one-dimensional? We know Rising's great. We know they've got a strong offensive line. We know they're running the ball effectively. What can you do to take away one aspect of that and put the ball either all on Cam Rising and maybe his little banged-up hand, or put it all on their running game, which isn't nearly as potent as the passing game can be? That's the $1 million question here. So overall, guys, this is going to be, I think, a fantastic game in Stillwater, and I'm torn. I really am torn. It's such a close game, such a competitive game. Utah's a great team, but they are obviously much different away from home than they are from Salt Lake City. Oklahoma State is a very good team, but they have not really impressed me that much this year. South Dakota State, okay, solid win. Should have lost to Arkansas, then you beat a bad Tulsa team. That's not that much to brag about. So I think this is going to be a relatively close game. I think it's going to be a relatively close and physical game. But if Cam Rising is good to go, and I expect that he will be, if Cam Rising is out there under center for the first play on offense for Utah, the Utes will win this game. I'm still not fully sold on the Cowboys and their defense. I believe in Utah. I believe in their offense. I believe in Kyle Whittingham to come in here and win the big games. They have the balanced offense. They have a better defense. The only thing that Utah maybe doesn't own in this game is home field advantage, and I believe that they can win. And despite all of that, I truly do. So give me the Utes, the number 12 team in the country, to take down Oklahoma State in Stillwater. Will be one of the best games of Week 4. But the Utes make a statement in their first Big 12 conference game, and at least for the time being, will look like the team to beat in the conference. So guys, as always, thank you so much for watching us here at the Gridiron Expert on YouTube. Make sure to continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos, and of course, check out everything down in the description below. That includes our website, thegridironexpert.com, home of our exclusive expert picks, some of the best college football and NFL spread picks in the entire country, beating out over 80% of the national handicappers each of the last 6 years. So we want you to take advantage of that. Go sign up today and become a member of our GE Nation. And once again, as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on the Gridiron Expert.